tonight. It's a battle of two teams rising, one from the ashes, one from the tombs, and two teams that are rising in the standings. Las Vegas 2-2, a first season playoff team in season 11, hoping to make it back and to end a two-game skid. New Orleans riding high off of a Friday win at Vancouver, 17-10. Who gets the critical win tonight to push their season in the right direction? It's the Fan Night Game of the Week, and it starts right now. Welcome to New Orleans, everyone. Alongside Stephen Mullinex, Grayson Willis on stats, I'm Cameron Irvine, and this is the MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week. Hello, Stephen. How you doing?
Wonderful, Cam. Great to be here. And the fans, you know, they are rarely wrong when it comes to giving us just a terrific game. We've had just a great string of games where the fans, the SFL fans, have chosen the game of the week. And boy, they've been some exciting matchups. I hope we have one tonight.
Starting lineup scoring across your screen. Coin toss is just around the corner. Let's see what we get here tonight on the SFL Network on Twitch TV. New Orleans wearing their NOLA Knights uniforms. Vegas is your road team. That's John Blades out there, Anthony Wyo, Brett Funk, the captains of the Fury. And Vegas wins the toss. They will receive to start the ball game. And Steven, what are your keys to the game?
Well, for Vegas, you know, no other team in SFL history has invested so much in their special teams. Historically, this season, 3 blocked punts against Baltimore helped them edge out the Vultures. And with that kind of investment, though, what cost is there elsewhere on the roster? We'll talk about more of that tonight. For New Orleans, there's 2 names you got to watch. Logan Jack, the top all-purpose back in the league, and Deidre Powell, the big deep threat here in the SFL.
The ball's on the tee, and the hand is in the air, and New Orleans kick it. We're underway. From the 9-yard line, this is Max Jackson on the return, past the 30. Max Jackson gets it up to the 38-yard line, setting up Thomas Rahman in great position to get the offense going. Vegas in white, New Orleans in black jerseys tonight.
Yeah, Rahman still trying to kind of figure out his way here in his second season. 6'5", 240, stands tall in the pocket. 717 yards through 4 games, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
Out of the I formation is how Vegas will start tonight. 4-3 defense for New Orleans. Winners of a couple in a row. 2 receivers off the left side. Rahman going to pass to start the night. He's going to be drilled with a sack. A loss of 6 yards back at the 32-yard line. And New Orleans defense gets it going.
Yeah, Rahman is taking a little bit too much time in the pocket. And then Zig Washington, look, that's his only his third sack here on the season. You know that he's hungry to try and boost up some of those stats. What a great way to start for the second-year man out of Oklahoma City.
Trips off the right side, second down at 16. They'll run it to Robert Redford, and Redford is smashed down. That tackle made by Mac McDaniel, but this New Orleans defense picking up where they left off last week, 3rd and very long.
Yeah, Mac McDaniel, we talked about him. He will shut down your run offense if you allow him to. Running to his side of the field, never a smart proposition.
Blades being defended by Arrington. That matchup at the bottom of the screen. Empty backfield here for Rahman on 3rd down and 18. Deep ball down the field is incomplete. Threw it into triple coverage. That was Kappa Jones down the field, knocking the ball away, and Vegas's first drive ends in a whimper. And the Fury will have to punt it away. Punter Dustin McRack, 6'1", 204, second season.
Terrific job of the Pharaohs defense. Let this visiting team come 3 and out. They get the ball first, and it's fruitless.
And we were talking about early before we got on the air about the home cooking so far in week 6 as that punt nearly blocked. On the return is Arrington back at the 21-yard line, and a lot of great special teams players, great special teams moments between these two teams, which I believe Steven joined the league in the same year, if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, I believe you are correct. We talked a little bit about how special this special teams is. That was nearly a 5-second hang time right there, Cam. Field position key for Vegas.
At the 23, Xander Gold starts with it. White pants, black helmet, handoff to Logan Jack. And Logan Jack will rumble ahead for 6 yards. Jack has been ever improved as taking over for Donk Bonkers. No small feat, but he has just picked up the offense beautifully.
Yeah, I almost have forgotten that name here because of the rookie's dominance through the first half of this season. I called him the biggest all-purpose back, or the best all-purpose back in the SFL. I'll tell you why after this play.
So 2nd and 4 at the 29-yard line. Handoff goes to Jack, and Jack gets wrestled down by Anthony Wyo, coupled with Abner St. John, the former Shark, on the tackle.
Well, to go back to Jack, 457 yards, 3 touchdowns on the ground coming into this game. 52 receptions. That's the number 1 by a running back in this league. Also has 3 receiving touchdowns, multi-use back here.
2 backs in the backfield here on a 3rd down and 3 as Vegas looks for a stop of their own. 8 in the box, handoff Jack. Jack got the first down, leaping ahead to the 36-yard line. St. John there again on the stop, but New Orleans moves the chains and puts the chain gang to work for the first time tonight.
Well, that's a lot of trust in your rookie running back when you run them all 3 plays, and on a 3rd and 3, trust him to get that first down for you. Now I would expect them to be a little bit more diverse. Let's see if Xander Gold can get involved.
Ball's at the 36. Wolf's at the bottom of the screen. And 3-step drop. Flips it outside to Jack. Jack's got 2 men running at him, and Merrick Itera and 1 other there on the stop. No gain for Logan.
Yeah, that's just a tough matchup there, you know, for Jack to try and take on 2 defenders, but particularly Itera, who has 38 tackles on the season in 4 games. Just a tackling monster from the cornerback position.
3 receivers, 2 backs, now 2nd down and 10. This is already the 5th play of the Pharaohs' drive. Having across their own 40, handoff Jack on a trap, got a first down and more. Jack breaks the tackle, running him down from behind. Rahman Jr. coming around the corner, and at the 15-yard line will finally get wrapped up by Tom Van Allen, but Logan Jack rips a 50-yarder on the first drive.
Yeah, and I think a missed opportunity here to have a much bigger play is number 60, unable to get a block at all, and it leaves Jack to be his own blocker, basically. And Jack, of course, with that power, able to shoulder charge past that first defender, break that for 50 yards. But I think if 60 would have got his hat on a man, that could have been a touchdown.
Yeah, Des Dermonti making that that miscue there, trying to figure out how to spell his last name probably. Not blocking. As Gold will flip it outside, caught by Wolf inside the 10 down to the 9. That's a 6-yard pickup, 2nd and 4 coming up for New Orleans, deep into the red zone, trying to get the first points on their opening drive.
Yeah, and Wolf is kind of a lost man in this offense. He's certainly involved, 36 receptions so far this year, but with Deezer Powell and Logan Jack, the bigger marquee names, Wolf goes under the radar, but he can still get you.
Art Cochran with the 100 bits, and Hoopstar77 saying best football league around. I hope he's talking about us. That run goes to L.J. Jackson as Jack has become exhausted with this drive. St. John, another tackle, his 3rd, a big 3rd and 4 coming up.
Well, you mentioned it, Cam, and we were 5 plays in, and they were still in their own 30. So this is a long drive, and the way that they use Jack, you know, his stamina depletes quickly. Backups back in again.
3 receivers. That's Powell there in the slot. 3rd and 4 at the 9. And they're going to hand it off one more time. And trying to find a lane was Jackson, but nothing doing. St. John there again, Stephen. That is 4 tackles on 1 drive. And New Orleans will have to settle for 3.
Yeah, you know, from his position there, St. John's got 27 tackles so far through just 4 games. So just doing a terrific job there of just crushing those running lanes. It helps not having Jack on the field.
So Las Vegas, -8 yards in the first quarter, and it's halfway over already. The field goal from 25 yards is good for New Orleans, officially 24, and those are our first points of the ball game. Pharaohs up 3-0. Got Grayson Willis holding it down on stats. 5 carries, 60 yards for Jack on that opening drive. Wolf had a 6-yard catch. Powell was not targeted. And Rahman on that opening drive, 0 for 1. And Robert Redford, -2 yards on 1 carry, Stephen. Redford, they've invested a lot of money in this guy, and they haven't necessarily seen that ROI from the 10-yard line. Jackson on the return, and not much room there, only out of the 27-yard line. But Redford, they need to get him going.
Yeah, absolutely. But and some of it, I think, Cam, is balance. You know, I think when teams decide defensively how to attack this Las Vegas offense, they're going to stop the run. So, Redford is seeing a lot of men in the box, and they're really defenses are saying throw the ball.
New Orleans' 6th rushing defense in the SFL coming into tonight's game as McDaniel makes the tackle for a 3-yard gain for Redford. And by the way, it's worth noting Las Vegas is dead last in the league in rushing defense, 140.3 allowed per game.
Yeah, and dead last also in passing offense. But let's also remember who they've played on their schedule, Cam. Games against Sioux Falls, Baltimore, Tallahassee, and Alaska. That's no joke.
2nd and 7 at the 30, 5:06 to go in the first quarter of the first Van Night game of the week of the season. And Rahman on 2nd down and 7 has all day to throw, and the pass is off the fingertips of the intended receiver. That was Kurt Kling, who could not cling onto that football. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and when you have such a low investment in your offense, really just 4 contracted players on that side of the ball, you're going to need to rely on those role players and those guys to come off the bench and help you. And in those kind of situations like that, at least it wasn't on 3rd down. It still gives you an opportunity to get the first.
Trips left. Vegas offense struggling on the road here early. Deep drop back. Rahman has a receiver open, and it's a 1st down and more past midfield of the New Orleans 45. That is Marion Corbetti with the reception, and the Fury moved the chains.
And Cam, that's exactly what I'm talking about. With the trips to the left and the receiver to the right, you had 4 receivers out there, only 2 of them contracted. So you've got 2 role players that are probably going to need to step in here and get open for you here. Just great separation by the non-contracted player there, and able to get that 1st down and more.
It's Cobb ready on the reception. 1st and 10 to the Faro 45, 4:30 to go in the first quarter, but Vegas now has a little bit of momentum offensively. 4-3 look for New Orleans defense. Back to pass Rahman. Rahman fires middle of the field, incomplete. And that pass intended for Randy Pofo. And a lot of different targets out there for Rahman here to start.
Yeah, when he's taking his time in the pocket, just really trying to find anyone open. And New Orleans is doing a good job of blanketing their quote-unquote star wide receivers, right? So that means Rahman's going to need to turn to some of these role players and get them involved. Trying to do so early. Seen a couple early drops or miscommunications here.
And Arrington and Rolliman Hood, two of the better cornerbacks in the league and one of the best cornerback duos, as Redford only can manage a yard. McDaniel already with 3 tackles, 1 TFL. It's a 3rd and 9 coming up for Vegas, and they've been living in 3rd and long early.
Well, that's a tough prospect, Cam, trying to run against these 2 linebackers here in New Orleans, and Batir and McDaniel, 2 of the best, and they are tackling machines. They will certainly stuff you in the middle.
3rd down and 9, 3:50 to go in the first quarter, and Rahman's pass is caught for a 1st down at the 32-yard line, and that's Brett Funk moving the chains for Vegas.
Yeah, Cam, these two wide receivers they have on the outside, Brett Funk and John Blades, both of them had 20 receptions each through 4 games. But Funk has been the more prolific one, 270 yards, 3 touchdowns. So expect to see a lot of him tonight as they try to get this wide receiver core and this passing game going.
So 1st and 10 at the Faro 31. Now hand off to Redford. Robert Redford, best run of the night. Hood makes the tackle, but not before an 8-yard gain up to the Faro 23. Another long drive, but this time by Vegas as the men in white continue to push down the field.
And I think what we're seeing, Cam, is as Vegas is having success in their passing game, starting to open up those rushing lanes. We know that Redford, because of the investment they've made in him, he has the talent and the ability to really take advantage when those lanes open up.
2nd and 2, handoff Redford, running left with blockers. Robert Redford, 1st down, the 15-yard line. Hood and Zig Washington on the tackle, but Vegas in the red zone, and Redford loving the way this offensive series is coming together.
Yeah, and what a way for this Vegas offense to respond after that initial 3 and out. You're coming in to another team stadium. You're fighting both the team. Sometimes you're fighting the refs, the fans, and you come in after that disappointing 3 and out to start the game, and you have a nice run like this.
2.5 to go in the first quarter. At the 15-yard line, empty backfield for Rahman. Rahman going to fire outside. Pass caught by Funk. He stepped out of bounds before Hood, and actually Kappa Jones had that last tackle, but before Hood could get to him. So 2nd and 5 coming up at the 10.
Yeah, the thing I like about Vegas is they're not afraid to get into these formations and sets that take out their star running back and put in bench players to fill roles at wide receiver or tight end. They're just not, they like these plays, and they're set with these plays regardless of the personnel.
This is Redford spread out wide now, and Rahman is going to step up into the pocket and goes down. That's Washington again, his 2nd sack of the night.
Yeah, Cam, and that matches how many sacks he's had on the season so far. So this gives you an idea of the kind of game that Zig Washington is having right now. He's playing right out of his mind.
3rd down and 9. Vegas would love to end with this in a touchdown. This is nearly a 4-minute drive. 4 receivers for Rahman, back to pass, and Rahman fires into the end zone. The pass is incomplete. Kappa Jones broke it up. Pass intended for Chris Knight, and like New Orleans, a long drive will end in a field goal for Matt Rage.
Well, we've seen Rahman holding the ball, I think, just a little bit too long on a lot of these plays. A lot of time in the pocket. Give credit to the offensive line, but I think his receiver just ran out of room, and by the time that Rahman actually identified him and got the ball to him, it was too late.
Mr. 23 subscribing to with Twitch Prime for 4 months now. Ram Voice for 6 months. Proud to be a part of the SFL hashtag Hawk Up, so appreciate your support in any way you want to show it. This is a 31-yard field goal for Rage, and the Rage goes on 3-3. We're all tied up. 2 long drives and 2 field goals on the board as both defenses clamp down in the red zone.
Yeah, and despite only getting a field goal, I still think that Vegas takes a lot of positives out of this particular series. We're able to really go down the field, both through their passing game and the running game. Really good balance, and I think it bodes well for them moving forward.
So 1:41 to go in the first. And Arrington from his goal line will return with a full speed ahead attitude. 30, 40, one man to catch him. It's Itera. Itera trying to catch him from behind. And how about the special teams demon saving a touchdown there, allowed by Vegas' special teams.
Well, we talked a lot about the Fury special teams. We didn't mention anything about the Pharaohs, but anytime you have a guy like this, the Ghost, Aaron Arrington, able to bring this one out from the end zone, and you're right, Cam, Itera playing special teams, which is another investment that Vegas has made the difference there. If that was not Itera, that's a touchdown.
4 carries, 63 yards for Jack on the opening series, but Merrick Itera doing a great job of not allowing a touchdown here early in a low-scoring ball game. Gold gonna fire in press man coverage. That pass caught by Wolf. Itera on the tackle, 1st and 10 of the 21.
Yeah, and Wolf, just the ideal possession receiver, really it combines well with what Deezer Powell does from as a vertical threat and what Logan Jack does out of the backfield. Just a really good combination of those three, and it just opens up things in the middle when you can spread 4 wide.
1st and 10 of the 21, handoff now to Jack. Jack gets strung out, coming towards you, and it's only a 1-yard pickup. Nice job there by Chuck Warsaw and the rest of the Fury defense.
Yeah, Xander Gold must have played a little basketball earlier in his career, Cam. That little handoff there was a little tricky. I didn't know if he still had the ball or not. I thought maybe that means they should be doing some more play action, because I kind of thought the quarterback still had the ball there for a second.
Yeah, same here. 2nd and 9 at the 20. Flip out to Jack. Jack all by himself and gets blown up by Anthony Wyo, who's known to lay a big hit or two. That's only a pickup of 3, 3rd and 6 at the 17, and once again, the red zone is tightening up here.
Yeah, let's be honest, Cam. You know, either side of this defense, either side of the secondary, you've got some tough hitters. Either it's Max Jackson or Wyo or Itera or Rahman Jr. Like, they will get after you.
3rd and 6, will they get the playoff? Yes, they will. And Gold's pass is tipped and intercepted in the back of the end zone by Thomas Rahman Jr.
Wow, Cam, the volleyball has been paying off at practice here for Las Vegas as Max Jackson actually is able to tip this back to his teammate. Watch that, Cam. That's nice. I don't think it was intentional. I'm sure Max Jackson would have liked to come down with that, but just a good job of Rahman Jr. seeing the ball into his hand.
And that's the end of the first quarter of play. 3-3, and Vegas gets an offensive stand. This is the MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week. Start of the second quarter here. Rahman gonna fire down the field. That pass is incomplete. And Cornelius Arthur was in coverage.
Actually, really good job there by Rahman, actually stepping up in the pocket, feeling the pressure, delivered a little bit of a duck, quack, quack, right? But still on target, still on pace. Just a great individual effort there by the defender.
So 2nd down off of the incomplete pass. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side for Vegas. Handoff goes to Redford, and Redford is stuffed by McDaniel. His 4th solo tackle already of the half, 3rd and 11.
Well, one thing I'm noticing, Cam, about Vegas is they like to spread that ball out. They like to spread the defense out, and then they're trying to run doing that. The unfortunate thing for them is that there's just so much investment in that front 7 for New Orleans. They're stuffing the run.
3rd and long again for Rahman, and Rahman will fire short, but Blades not even close as Vegas concedes a punt, so they do nothing. They go 3 and out after the interception in the end zone, and that's got to be a little disappointing for the Fury O.
Yeah, but conceding a punt for most teams doesn't really apply much to Vegas because of the guy that they have back there who can really boot this. And, you know, we see what this plan is going to be pretty early for Vegas, and that's what they've built this offseason, this kind of team. They're playing a field position game.
So Vegas will kick it away. This is to the 26, and Aaron Arrington makes a man miss, and Arrington gets a nice return up to the 35-yard line. Itera eventually making the tackle once more. But that's where Xander Gold and the Pharaohs offense will begin their next drive with 10:03 to go in the first half.
Yeah, every special teams opportunity.
And we'll get Stephen Mullinex back here in just a moment. Handoff goes to Jack. Jack picks up 3. And New Orleans continues on their pace. Well, while we try to get Stephen back on the horn here, here's some updated stats. Xander Gold is 4 for 4, 19 yards, but does have a pick. Thomas Rahman 4 for 9, 50 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Robert Redford 18 yards, 6 catches. Logan Jack 6 carries, 67 yards, and has caught 2 passes for 3 yards. Gold gonna throw, 2nd and 7, hit as he threw, pass is incomplete. Looking deep down the field to Mickey Bischoff, as we're still waiting for Deezer Powell's first target of the night. He's been quiet thus far. You can see him there in the huddle getting the play. No targets. Wolf 2 catches on 2 targets. Third down and 7 from the 39. Gold gonna throw, and it's caught. First down to the 44. That reception, who is that out there? That is Jaquez Lynch with the first down for the Pharaohs. And a beautiful ball right over the head of the defender. We'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Chat shout-outs, CP3 Buddha 504, H2022, Xander Gold, Kappa Jones, Eric JDWA, Rolliman, I'm F and Problem, D-Pound 98, all in the mix. Hand off to Jack, and Jack past the 40, breaks a tackle past the 30, gets the first down to the 28-yard line. Logan Jack's averaging 12 yards a carry.
Cam, what a load there, boy. Look at just the blow-up defenders. Logan Jack with a nice, first off, shoulder charge right here to get through number 35. And then look at him stiff-arm the linebacker right in the chest. Get off me, big fella.
So 8:33 to go in the first half, and it's kind of alarming that it's 3-3. Both teams have moved the ball pretty effectively. Out of the eye, hand off to Jack, and Logan Jack running tough again. Itera makes the tackle, only a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8 from the 26. Well, we see our first touchdown on this drive of the game of the week.
Well, Cam, we've seen this before. The overuse of Logan Jack on a series. At some point, that clock has to be ticking as far as when his backup comes in. That might have cost him a touchdown on that previous series.
One back in the backfield, that's Jack. No receivers, at least that we can tell, as they'll flip it out to Jack, and Jack dropped it. Just dropped it. Had some space, and I think he started running before he had the ball.
Yeah, Cam, maybe looking downfield a little bit, licking his chops at the open space ahead of him, wishing the ball would come quicker, and then when it does, he forgot that he ate fried chicken before the game, and it slips out of his hands.
3rd down and 8 at the 26. Add that to the list of things you shouldn't eat before the game, according to Stephen Mullinex. 2 backs and 3 receivers. And Gold gonna throw. Gold looking around. Nobody really open. Took a shot, and it's a touchdown. What a throw to Bischoff for the score.
Cam, Xander Gold delivering the gold standard once again. Here, buying time in the pocket. Savvy, the Houdini style to get away from tacklers, and at the very last millisecond delivers a dime to his open wide receiver between 2 defenders. Just an amazing individual play by the young quarterback.
And you can see, Stephen, that the receivers on the outside were just totally blanketed. And Thomas Rahman Jr. has been doing a really nice job on Deezer Powell much of this first half. But Gold with his feet making plays happen and finding Bischoff for a monster score.
Well, we've talked about how good this Vegas secondary is. I mean, just chock full of stars. But, you can't expect to cover forever. And when a quarterback is able to give you that much time to run your routes, even the best SFL Hall of Famers can't cover receivers that long.
7:45 to go in the first half. Kickoffs, you can't look away tonight with Max Jackson and Aaron Arrington involved. From the 9, Jackson on the return, and Jackson is smothered at the 29-yard line. The Simulation Football League is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House, and brought to you in part by Extraordinary Everest, heartfelt messages on the most extraordinary place on earth. By Bit Central and Fuel, transforming SFL media in 2019, and Harry's, all you need for a close, comfortable shave. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line for Rahman and the Fury. Flip outside, that's the fullback picking up 2. And if you haven't read about Extraordinary Everest and you're 4 days away from Valentine's Day and you need to make an impression. Did you see this, Stephen? They carve these stones for you, and then they take them by yak up the mountain? Come on, that's awesome.
That's something I'd love to see. I'd love to see that. That'd be great.
2nd and 8 at the 31, and the flip outside to Redford's got a first down and more. Redford rolling over defenders out to the 41-yard line, runs into Logan Jack and says, hey, man, I'd like to do better than you tonight.
Well, this is why you want to get your running back, involved in the passing game, because as soon as they get the ball, they just turn into, that powerful running back with space and able to dip his shoulder like he did there, get across the first down marker, and really kind of like a tank, just deflecting bullets, able to deflect defenders.
First and 10 of the 41, and Redford got a nice block there, but play extended by McDaniel, who brings him down from behind. Almost looked like there may have been a hold there not called. It's a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7 for the Fury.
Yeah, you're talking about McDaniel, Cam, the speed that it took. He was on the other side of the field and came over to almost the out-of-bounds line to hit Redford. What blazing speed there by the rookie.
We've seen great linebacker play out of St. John and McDaniel tonight. Out of the eye, Redford going to get another handoff. Redford, nice cut to the outside. What a beautiful block on the outside as well. All the way down to the 31. That is your Everscroll block of the game.
Yeah, Cam, and I'm not sure it was an intentional block that sprung him. It just looked like one of the New Orleans Pharaohs defenders got caught up in another block, and that really gave Redford the opportunity to turn the Jets. But guess who tracks him down? Yes, McDaniel. Once again, 6'2", 235.
Man, he is all over the field. 6:10 to go. Redford getting it going. Now they go 3 wide, and Rahman will throw. Rahman fires over the middle. That pass complete to Kurt Kling for a 7-yard pickup. Everscroll by Movement blocks blue light to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Protect them and see every moment by using the promo code SimulationFL at purchase from Movement.com. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL through our partnership. Movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. 2nd and 3 at the 23. Vegas on the move. Rahman runs right into a sack on the backside. Coleman Fletcher brings him down. That is the 3rd New Orleans sack of the game, and it'll be 3rd and long once again.
Well, you got to protect your quarterback's backside here, and I think the tackle did a good job of doing that for as long as he could. But Rahman's been holding the ball really long here in this game, and just a little bit too long there and went the wrong direction.
3rd and 11. Rahman can't get out of field goal range, so he dumps it off to Redford, and that goes absolutely nowhere. Curtis Compton, the aggressive free safety on this squad, brings him down. That'll result in a rage deep field goal for about 48 yards out. And another Vegas drive that looked promising does not reach the end zone.
Yeah, trouble on 3rd and long, and I think settling a little bit too much for those shorter plays, hoping that the guy who caught it could make some kind of a play.
It's going to be officially a 47-yard field goal for Matt Rage. Very good kicker from Vegas, and that field goal is good with plenty of leg. And it's 10-6. A lower scoring affair than we might have thought, although after seeing New Orleans defense last week, it's kind of not a surprise.
Well, Cam, in a low-scoring game, that favors Vegas because of their investment on the special teams. They can punch you deep to give you tough field position. They can kick long field goals. They're going to stop you from New Orleans. Possibly could have had a special teams touchdown, but Vegas's investment stops that touchdown. So, that favors Fury, especially on the road, if they can keep it low score.
Points are valuable for sure. This is 1 yard deep in the end zone. Arrington on the return. Arrington's got some blockers, and Vegas quickly closes. He is racked up at the 24-yard line with 4:23 to go in the first half. Well, if you missed action earlier today, you missed an exciting Sunday afternoon slate. Oklahoma City gets the win 31-28. Deacon Nickens set an SFL record with a 70-yard rushing touchdown for a quarterback. Carolina gets 4 picks in a 37-28 win. Atlanta holds on to beat Tulsa 34-26 to snap their losing streak. And now we are here in beautiful New Orleans as Gold fires it outside to Jack, who drags Itera for 8 yards. What stood out to you in the Sunday slate earlier today, Stephen?
Yeah, Carolina's win was really great for that franchise. Really needed that win to try and get them off the schneid a little bit. And just an exciting way to do that with those 4 turnovers.
Katunaka with 600 bits, and he is now at 4,260 for the week. Thank you for the support as New Orleans gets the first down. Today Jackson in the chat saying still stings as Tulsa comes up just short, but win for Atlanta on the road after a 1-4 start.
Hey, I'm with you there, Miss Jackson. You know, trying to get over a tough loss myself.
It was Friday night when Tallahassee won 38-31. That was a barn burner of a shootout in Tallahassee, a back-and-forth contest, and a lot of fun. If you missed all the action, it's always archived on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/simulationfl. Go and subscribe to us there. Goal, deep shot. Oh, Itera almost took it away, and the receiver that Gold was looking for wasn't even in our picture, as Itera missed an opportunity there for a pick six, but does swat it away for an incomplete pass. Gold's second of the day.
Cam, that's something that we haven't seen a lot of tonight. Is not a lot of, attempts to throw deep, and that's surprising when you have a guy like Deezer Powell on your roster for New Orleans. But there, I think first down and 10 on your own side of the field, why not?
Xander Gold's 8 of 11, 78 yards, a touchdown and a pick here in the first half. Hand off to Jack, and Jack picks up 5. That's a generous 5, at least what it looks like. 9 carries, 90 yards. Max Jackson on the tackle.
Yeah, Cam, and Max Jackson, just a great defender, but even maybe a better special teams returner. But surprisingly, based on what I've read here on the stats, he hasn't had a return for a touchdown yet this season.
3 receivers for Gold on a 3rd down and 5. He's going to throw. Deep shot. It's intercepted by Thomas Rahman Jr. Pass intended for Wolf, and Rahman Jr. gets up and gets it out of the 38-yard line. Having one heck of a first half as Gold has had nothing open deep on the outside.
Yeah, Rahman Jr.'s second pick of the night, and this one's a beauty. This is just one-on-one with Deezer Powell, the league's best deep threat. Excuse me, that's not Deezer Powell. That's Matt Wolf they had out there. And just Gold just delivers the ball a little bit short, but also Wolf really got cut off by Rahman there on his route, which allowed Rahman to get in there, Rahman Jr., and pick that one off with a great athletic play.
Temple with 100 bits for the interception. Max Jackson cheering on his teammate in the chat. Now 2 picks tonight. First and 10 at the 38-yard line. And another dump off to Redford gets nothing. Gary Bertier on the tackle for the first time tonight. And Deezer Powell running a little stop route there in the slot. And Wolf was the deep shot. Neither was open. Powell still does not have a catch in this first half, Stephen. And we saw a little bit of this against Vancouver when New Orleans faced some good corners, but eventually Powell and Wolf broke through as Redford rumbles down to the 44-yard line. Big 3rd and 4 coming up. 62 yards on 10 carries. Redford having a strong half.
Yeah, Cam, we haven't heard from Deezer Powell. We also hadn't heard from John Blades, so there are some receivers here that haven't been utilized yet that certainly they'll go into halftime and try to figure out ways to get them more involved.
Wolf's the only receiver tonight with more than 2 catches outside of Logan Jack out of the backfield, and they will not get this play off before the end of the half. We've reached the Quip 2-minute warning. Visit quip.com for more information. You are watching the MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week here on the SFL Network on YouTube, presented by APM Music. The SFL, where we always strive to have the longest copy to read ever. It's kind of become our trademark, as Rahman's pass is tipped up in the air and intercepted. Bertier knocked it to Tank Bennett, and Bennett returns it all the way to the 19-yard line. Bennett in a volleyball. Look at this play by Bertier. He just kind of whacks it right over to him. Look at that.
Yeah. Reaches out with everything that he has, Cam, and gets his fingernail maybe on the ball enough to tip it up. But what a great job here by Tank Bennett of concentrating, bringing in what is his 3rd interception on the season, realizing where he is on the field and taking it upfield to get that long game, putting his offense in great position to score.
Man, it was like Bertier saw Bennett out there and said, I can't get this with one hand, but I think you got a better shot at it. He just knocked it right to him. Logan Jack ducking defenders everywhere. Touchdown New Orleans. He broke 4 tackles and jacked up the whole Fury defense.
Cam, that might be the greatest play I have seen this season. I know we had a 100-plus yard run for a touchdown, but this is just all about strength. Get off me. Get on the ground. Mama said knock you out. I've got to get to the end zone. What a great individual play. Poor blocking. Doesn't matter. Put 6 on the board.
Oh, my God. I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want to interrupt your call, so I had to suppress it. What a call, Stephen Mullinex. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, those are easy calls when you make a play like that. I mean, goodness, I think everybody at home probably jumped out of their seat after that 4th broken tackle.
Low snap, bad snap, and then almost getting a block. And a man ran right past the ball there, and I didn't get a chance to see who that was. But missed opportunity there to get an extra point blocked, and New Orleans is up by 11 as this game is opened up towards the end of the first half.
Yeah, and opened up in the Pharaoh's way, and Vegas still struggling to try and get in the end zone, but have been moving the ball pretty effectively at times. Not to try and get in there and score now. I think the onus starts to shift, especially in the second half, to their passing game.
Here comes Jackson, and Max Jackson. Oh, he got ripped down. That was a vicious play. That's going to tack on 15. That was ugly to watch.
Cam, just an idiot, really an idiot play there by New Orleans. I mean, you just can't
They called it incidental. I can't believe that. That looked awful.
It looked like a horse collar right there, just bringing them down almost. Yeah, that's just, how do you do that? You just scored. You got all this momentum, and there's only just over a minute 30 on the board here. Why would you give them such good field position? That's just ridiculous. An idiot play that he should be over there and cursed out about.
1st and 10 at the 35 now. Can Vegas do something with 3 timeouts and 1 minute and 39 seconds on the clock? The handoff goes to Redford, and Redford picks up 5 to start the 2-minute offense. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with time vibrations. Brush head refills for $5, refilled every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Use the link posted in the chat, and your purchase will help support the SFL through our partnership. Quip, a more wholesome clean. And boy, Logan Jack cleaned the clock of Vegas on the last drive. Oh, and Roman goes down very quickly. That's Washington with a hat trick. And he's got 5 sacks on the season, rising up the ranks.
Zig Washington playing like a man possessed, Cam. Look, he came into this game with 2 sacks in 5 games. Suddenly he has 3. Something has gotten into his water tonight, but Cam, I think maybe it's more of an indication of where this team's going. Every roster in the SFL is getting better. Every single game, we're seeing that development here with Washington tonight.
By the way, Katunica with 500 bits for the mother of all plays, as Redford will take another handoff, break a tackle, and nearly got a block, and they rule him short of the first down, and they run it on 3rd and long, and we need a booth review on that. That looked like a first.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get one, actually, Cam.
Right. Wow.
Great individual effort, but have we ever seen one closer than that? Look down the line there, Cam. I'd almost want to go for it there.
How do you not at least even get a measurement from their own 45? They'll punt this football away by McRack, and Vegas got to make sure that they don't allow Aaron Arrington some crazy return and allow the Pharaohs to start to run away with this thing. New Orleans is going to get the ball to start the second half, as this punt is a good one. Inside the 10, down to the 3. It'll die at the 1, and with 14 seconds left, Vegas has a chance to get a safety here.
Like old school Tiger Woods punting, my goodness, I don't know, my golf term's good enough, but going right up to the green and spinning that ball right up to the hole. I mean, just an expert at that coffin corner, just short of the goal line type punt right there.
All right, Jack is in the end zone, 14 seconds left. Let's see what New Orleans is going to call. They're just going to ram it up the middle. Oh, Logan Jack, he just abused somebody. Call a hotline, midfield, 40. Logan Jack's going to score. Unbelievable run, 99 yards to end the half.
Wow, Cam, I was about to say, McChesney, move over. but that was just 99 yards, but that was just as impressive. And just something has happened here with this running back and Jack. He is literally jacked up, and he broke one tackle, was gone, Cam. And he's not known necessarily for his jets, but has more than enough to outrun these two defenders who have, I think, Itera blocked by his own guy, isn't able to accelerate to get up there and get Jack.
And it took all the time off the clock on the final play. They just wanted to get out of their own end zone. But Logan Jack, unbelievable. And he has put the Pharaohs on his back to end the half. And what a way to end it. And then he gets the ball to start the second half. Take a breather. Big number 26. 24-6. Let's all catch our breath. The MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week. Turning a bit ugly in New Orleans, but a lot of football left. 2K Sports Halftime Show, first half stats and highlights. And the rushing yards already over 200. Logan Jack going for the record tonight, Stephen.
Well, Cam, it was a pretty equal game back and forth. We even mentioned how low scoring it was there through the first quarter and just really been field goals. And then suddenly New Orleans gets the lead off of a nice Xander Gold patience type touchdown in the end zone with a nice throw between two defenders. And then all of a sudden there at the end of the second quarter, it was the Logan Jack show. The guy just went off and completely destroyed this Vegas defense on the way of doing it. 5 broken tackles, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards rushing later. There in probably the span of 2 minutes, and suddenly this is a blowout.
By the way, TJ CAG SFL, 510 bits in the chat because Stephen Mullinex is still in the booth.
Oh, appreciate that.
Thought I'd give you that one.
Yeah, still in the booth. Despite everything else, I'm glad to be here, man. This is the kind of game that you want to be in the booth for, because these are the kind of plays that are iconic. And look, Cam, if you need your top 2 plays for the top 10 list, you've got them already.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we've had so many already this week, and we still have 3 games to go. Tomorrow night, Indianapolis takes on San Francisco. Mexico City faces St. Louis. And one more on this one. Who am I leaving out, Steven? Not on purpose.
I had St. Louis on my mind since we play them next, so I'll have to look. Let me look right quick.
As we look at the first half highlights, Logan Jack, 206 yards, 2 touchdowns. And, Steven, I'm going to beat you to it. It's
Gotcha.
Alaska-Baltimore. How could I forget? Big game going on in Baltimore, rematch from week 1. And I think we're about to see the Logan Jack run here. And, we missed that. We didn't get to see the start of it. But we're going to get to see the finish of it. And you're right, Steven. Itera blocked by his own man there. Just could not get an angle on Jack.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Itera track down Aaron Arrington on special teams. You got to imagine Aaron Arrington's faster than Jack, who's just kind of a load, but just couldn't get past his own guy there. So that contributed certainly, but, got to give a lot of credit, all the credit really to Jack, able to break that initial tackle at the line. I think maybe Vegas mistake, and we didn't really get a chance to go back and look at it and have it so quick. I think they might have been playing man, so playing up there means that if Jack just breaks one tackle, there's a possibility that he's gone, and it became reality.
Grayson Willis in the chat with 100 bits says, don't tell Cam that I'm in the chat and not doing stats. A, I know you're doing stats because I'm looking at the stats. And B, I know you're in the chat because I'm looking at the chat. Aaron Arrington returns out of the 25-yard line. I'm looking at everything except Discord. It has like 60 notifications.
Well, I think the game plan here is pretty simple for New Orleans. They're going to need to pass every once in a while, but it's just going through Jack here. I know that you don't want to start necessarily trying to run the clock here at the start of the third quarter, but he's just been your best offensive weapon, and based on what he just did, why not go back to him?
Oh my goodness, what a way to end the half. Split backs, handoff, Jack, and Logan Jack, fresh from the half, gets a first down to the 38-yard line. He's averaging a terrible 18 yards a carry.
Cam, and he's simply destroying the first tackler. And we talk about what separates just kind of the ho-hum running backs in this league to the elite of the elite. and that's breaking that first tackle. And we've seen Jack do that over and over again. But what's making him so great here in this game is he's broken the second tackle, the third tackle, the fourth tackle.
Somebody better get their media guide out and look at the top 10 rushes or running games of all time. That pass is intercepted, thrown right to Itera, going back the other way. 40, 30, Itera down the sideline, down to the 21, and Vegas flips back momentum.
Well, it's costing. It just cost New Orleans maybe a little bit too prideful here, trying to get a big reception going in their passing game. Not really understanding why at this point. Why not run the ball? But their feeling is they want to try and get everyone involved, and it cost you here with Itera. Like you mentioned, Cam, maybe one of his easier interceptions here, able to bring that one back. And we've seen the speed that he has tracking down Arrington earlier. So a great spot here for Vegas to get back in this game.
This is interesting. Xander Gold is struggling to push the ball down the field. That's one thing Vegas has not given up tonight, as Rahman going to the end zone for a touchdown. That's John Blades with his second catch of the night, and Vegas is right back in it.
Cam, wow, this was impressive, Cam. They run Blades on the post route, able to outrun two defenders, has another defender coming down on top of him, but Rahman delivers the dime perfectly through a keyhole, right on target. Blades goes up, makes an easy catch in the end zone, touchdown, back in this game.
Jet Christie subscribing at Tier 1, then subscribing at Tier 2. I don't really know how that works, but we appreciate your subscription to our channel anyway, especially when we're on the front page, commercial-free viewing throughout the night, and you won't want to miss our next front page, Stephen Mullinex, because that will be the final week of the regular season when Blitz Live returns and we all find out what the playoff matchups are live in real time. And that is going to be one epic night, just like one epic night right now as the Vegas Fury trying to get back in the game.
Absolutely, Cam. And an opportunity for New Orleans to shut the door if they want to, but they can't make ill-advised passes like they did in the previous series.
Arrington gets nothing, just barely out past the 20, only to the 23. Xander Steven, there's only been 54 seconds off the clock in this half. We've already seen Logan Jack murder somebody else. We've seen a pick by Itera and a touchdown. I thought for sure we were halfway through the third. And
just think about, you know, that series right before the end of the first half with Jack and his big run. So, yeah, we've seen a lot of explosion in a short amount of time.
First and 10 of the 23, split backs for Gold, gonna hand it off. And Anthony Guayo needs some help from a teammate to bring Jack down. That's a pickup of 6. Jack has 224 yards on the night. It's officially a 98-yard touchdown run, not a 99-yard touchdown run, according to the statistics. And Dwayne Schindler helping us out with the media guide. 2,300-yard rushing game, so still a ways to go for Logan Jack, but of course when you played nearly 900 sims, that is to be expected. As Jack has another carry for a first down, a 6-yard pickup up now to 230.
And what makes it more amazing, Cam, is the fact that Jack was the 10th overall pick, not the first, right? The 10th overall pick in the draft, and this is only his 6th game in the SFL, and he's posting over 200 yards here. Probably has one of the best plays of the year. I think that's incentive for those guys that are new watching out there saying, if I have a player, what kind of an impact can I have? Well, look at the impact that Jack has had in a short amount of time.
Powell's at the bottom of the screen, very quiet. Thomas Rahman Jr. has done an outstanding job on him. Now Logan Jack in the open field gets 9 more yards, 239 for Logan Jack tonight.
And again, one tackle away from him, I think, breaking that one for another touchdown. That would be my answer for the rest of the night for New Orleans. Let's just ditch this whole passing thing. Let's just go pure run.
Yeah, Vegas run defense really struggling. 4-3 look here. They shift to the right. Jack is the low man in the backfield. They're going to give it right to him up the middle, and Logan Jack's got a first down, a pickup of another 5 more, 244 yards. We're officially on Jack watch now with 8:28 to go in the third.
Yeah, and you know, at some point though, Jack's going to need a breather, and we've seen that backup role player come in, not have much success, but we've also seen those kind of players come in with fresh legs at the end of the game and explode for touchdowns as well.
And Vegas needs a bend but don't break strategy to get Jack off the field. Gold going deep down the middle, pass is tipped away and incomplete. Anthony Wyo knocks it away. And I gotta say, Stephen, Gold now 8 of 14 for 78 yards with 3 picks and 1 touchdown. I've been very impressed by this Vegas secondary.
Yeah, if I was Vegas, I would just sell out to stop the run and then trust these talented secondary defenders like Wyo, like Atera, like Jackson, like Rahman Jr. Trust them to play one-on-one against these wide receivers that, as we mentioned, we haven't talked at all about Deezer Powell yet. Matt Wolf has had some impressive plays, but then there's just a bunch of role players out there, and you've got this talented secondary that can go to work one-on-one.
Stephen, if I would have told you Logan Jack would have 244 yards in the third quarter and Deezer Powell wouldn't have a catch, you would say, what is going on here? What is happening?
Yeah.
As Gold's pass is underthrown and nearly intercepted.
Woo!
Knocked away, I believe, by Itera on the outside. Could have been Wyo, and Van Allen nearly had an interception. Now it's 3rd down and 10, and Gold is now 8 of 15.
Well, the Pharaohs are just playing right into how Vegas can get back into this game, making these dangerous passes. Now, certainly Gold is capable of sealing this game himself with his arm. Just haven't seen much of that tonight, Cam. And this running game has been lights out, but they're going to pass here.
Jack Christie with 100 bits. Mello Taylor is subscribed to Tier 1. Seeing some fresh faces in the chat tonight. Want to introduce yourself or let us know who you are if I just haven't seen you in the Twitch chat. That pass is caught by Powell, but short of the first down. So 4th down and 5. All of a sudden, Vegas gets a stop after a touchdown, and they could be in business. Max Jackson back to return.
Yeah, and maybe a safer type play for Gold, you know, that just trying to just make it a little bit easier for his punter. A strategy here, it was just 3rd and long. They haven't had success in the passing game much. Why not allow your defense to get back on the field, hopefully get a stop for you, put the ball back in the hands of Jack.
From the 11, this is Jackson breaking a tackle, getting rid of another, and gets finally wrapped up at the 15-yard line by Jules Howard. We were talking pregame, Stephen, about the 3 block punts from Itera in that win over Baltimore, and we've seen 1 since, but I'm telling you what, man, you just never get the same football game in the SFL.
Well, I think, you know, it tends to, some players get hot, and I think there was a situation where Itera was just red hot, much like Zig Washington tonight.
That's right.
He's been super hot.
He's got 3 sacks, and rushing the quarterback here. Rahman will get it out of his hands quick. That's the Blades. They rule that incomplete, and I'm not sure it's worth a challenge for Vegas, but I think he was in bounds.
Yeah, I agree with you, Cam, but as you mentioned, we've seen calls go either way on the sidelines like that, and I think SFL owners and coaches are learning, you know, not to try and put, especially the fate of the game, in the referee's hands. You got to try to win it away from the sidelines. 73
viewers here for the Fan Night Game of the Week, and if there's anybody lurking in Discord, man, bring them along. This is an exciting, fun game. Rahman on 2nd down and 10, throws a deep ball, caught by Blades, who was wide open. Arrington makes the tackle after he lost him, but the Fury get a 1st down to the 41, and Blades has 53 yards.
Well, Cam, we talked about not hearing Blades' name there in that first half, really, and suddenly he's, you know, after halftime, they've made the adjustment to get him more involved, and he's already got a touchdown and this long reception. Great separation from both defenders there. Just a simple corner route for him, but Rahman able to find him, and maybe not necessarily in stride, but, you know, the receiver able to go up, bring the ball, secure it down for the long game.
1st and 10 of the 41-yard line now for Rahman. Going to throw again, but steps into a sack again from Fletcher. That's the 2nd time Rahman has stepped into his direction, and it has not worked out.
Yeah, Cam, and I think that's part of the reason is because he's a left-hand thrower, so that means the right tackle has to protect his blind side. Most quarterbacks, it's the opposite, and then when Rahman's feeling that pressure, he's going in the wrong direction out of the pocket, and it's running right into the defensive end for the sack. That's twice now.
So 2nd and 16, Vegas has not done well when they've had to live in 3rd down and long. 2 backs in the backfield. We'll see what they do on 2nd and 16. They'll fire a short to make it a little bit more manageable 3rd down, but only 3 yards. I think they were hoping to get more out of that as Pofo makes the reception.
Yeah, I think maybe if he had that over again, he'd hold the ball just a little bit longer there. Just maybe feeling the pressure, that's the only thing. Or maybe seeing ghosts after that previous sack. Might have been rattled a little bit.
3rd and long here, 4 receivers, Rahman to throw. Rahman going long, one-on-one coverage, swatted away by Rolliman Hood. He was all over Brett Funk on the sideline, and both sets of corners in this game have been very effective on the outsides, outside the hash marks, and the Fury will have to punt.
Well, Hood doesn't have an interception yet this season, Cam, but what he does have is length. 6'3", 190, and using those long arms there to get his 7th pass defend on the season.
So Vegas will have to punt it away with 6:05 to go in the 3rd quarter. Rahman is 12 of 20 for 105 yards. Gold 9 of 16 for 81 yards, as both secondaries have been very good. Arrington from the 15-yard line has absolutely no room to return, as that tackle made by Kevin Lomax in special teams. 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line coming up. The Simulation Football League is brought to you in part by Matt Doyle Designs. Matt Doyle Designs, official design partner of the SFL. MediaTek Institute. Visit mediatek.edu for diploma programs. Turn your passion into your profession. And by MeUndies, the world's most comfortable underwear for men and women. And of course, the sponsor of tonight's Evo's Air Night Game of the Week is Jack picks up 2. Is that right? 2? That's it? 2nd and 8.
Yeah, and still needed to truck a defender, to get that too. But boy, you know what? This guy here, Jack, delivers blows without giving ground, Cam. So, I don't think we've seen a negative yard from him tonight. He just will push forward. Even on those short gains, they're still gains.
Jack Christie, 300 bits in the chat. Appreciate your support. Hand off to Jack. Logan Jack's got a first down to the 29-yard line. Logan Jack continues to rumble halfway through the 3rd.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a running back as furious as I've seen Jack tonight. I mean, it's just almost a given now, Cam, that he's going to leap over a defender. He's going to make sure to break that first tackle. Like, it is just all going his way tonight, and it is already a career night for him and been so entertaining to watch.
I think the last time I saw a running back have a night like this was in that Season 9 championship game, Ray Bentley. I mean, I just have not seen this in a long time. 3 receivers, 2 backs in the backfield for Gold. Hand off Jack again, and Logan Jack this time is hit and pushed backwards. And we've talked about it tonight. That's the 20th carry for Jack. He's going to get tired here, and when he's gotten tired and it hasn't been as effective, he looked a little slow on that run. This Vegas team has stepped up big time.
Yeah, they have, Cam, and they're going to need to do that defensively here to try and get their offense back involved. But I think both teams' defenses are starting to stabilize now, and we're seeing good defensive effort.
And off Jack, and Jack is roughed up in the backfield. That may be your first tackle for loss of the night, and bringing it up in the chat, Jai and Yola, what about him? And I would counter that with Jai was a very talented running back, but he had a lot of 60, 70, 80-yard touchdown runs. Not to say that Jack hasn't had that tonight, but Jack, even on 5, 6, 7-yard runs, has been absolutely brutal tonight. Gold long, and what a play by Rahman Jr. to stick a hand up there and force a punt. This is by far the best I've seen Thomas Rahman Jr. play this season, the 12th pick of the draft.
Yes, Cam, and that was out to Deezer Powell. How I've touted as the greatest deep threat here in the SFL right now, and he's been totally blanked in this game and blanketed by Rahman Jr. And just, the 12th pick in the draft, the rookie, really uncommon for a rookie to come in as a cornerback, Cam, and make this kind of an impact this early.
Boy, shout out to the season, golly, what season are we in?
Season 12.
This is 12 losing track. Jackson gets it out of the 38-yard line, but man, Logan Jack, the 10th pick of this draft, Rahman Jr., the 12th pick of this draft, and they've combined for 257 yards, 2 interceptions, and a pass deflection, among other accolades.
And getting better with every game as they progress. That's the thing. This is scary to imagine that Logan Jack is only half of maybe what he'll be at the end of the season.
Two backs and two receivers, and the handoff goes to Redford. Robert Redford says, don't forget about me. I'm going to pick up 6 to the Fury 43. Got 85 yards. Very good night that's just being overshadowed right now by Jack.
Yeah, and I, it's hard to explain when you compare the two. I think of both running backs, and you give Robert Redford the edge, I think, in my mind, because he's the veteran. He's not this rookie, but just the way I think that New Orleans uses Jack and the plays that they have in for him, they've just been more effective, clearly.
Redford gets tattooed at the 45-yard line. I thought for sure he was going to have a first down. No cigar as McDaniel makes another hit. 3rd and 2 with under 3 to go in the third. This game's still tight.
And Cam, maybe it's not just the plays, but maybe it's also the fact that Jack doesn't have McDaniel to run against in the game.
That's true. Rahman going long on 3rd and 2, and it laying out for it was Rolliman Hood. Again, Funk was the intended target, and if Rahman would have just settled down and waited, I think Redford was going to be wide open in the flat.
Cam, I think that was an opportunity for a touchdown right there. Excuse me. And if Hood doesn't make the full extension, and we've talked about his length already being a difference maker in coverage, doesn't have an interception but can make plays like that for you and cause this 4th down. I mean, look, this defense is really what's sealing this victory as the offenses have gone cold.
Now we shouted, or we saw McRack get the ball to the 1-yard line in the first half, only to have, as that's going to roll into the end zone. That's not smart. Yeah, that's go ahead, get on the soapbox, Steven. That was Kevin Lomax. Terrible.
I thought that ball actually did. I mean, it looked like it was going to spin again and stay on that 1-yard line. But the special teamers simply just didn't get on top of it in time. They sat there and waited for it to move. They should have just grabbed it. But we've also seen those special teamers grab it and then run in the end zone for some odd reason.
1st and 10 at the 20, 3 receivers. Anyway, what I was saying was that they pinned it down to the 2-yard line, and then Jack had a 98-yard touchdown, so it didn't really even matter. Jack gets his 21st carry. We still have 13 minutes of football action to go as St. John gets another tackle who's been a little quiet since the first quarter.
And honestly, 21 carries isn't very much. And he's just been super effective tonight and getting all those, gobbling up all those yards. And, of course, that 199-yard run helps for sure.
Wayne coming out with some great stats. Look at that play there. And how about a name we haven't said at all tonight, Stephen? Mike Fats Johnson with the tackle. Where has he been? I'm sure he's applied some pressure on Gold, but very quiet night so far for Johnson, but a nice tackle.
Yeah, 7 sacks on the season. That's the 4th highest total here in the SFL coming into this week, excuse me. But yeah, you're right. I think he's affecting the game, but just in different ways, Ken.
Gold, deep shot. It's knocked away by Rahman Jr. again. Man, this guy, he's got a lot of money to buy a giant island out there. It's 4th down, and Rahman Jr. has just continued his exceptional night on Deezer Powell.
Yeah, and they're trying to test him, Cam. They know he's a rookie. They're testing his side of the field against the speedy Deezer, who we've talked about all night, although not for his performance tonight, just for what he's done coming into this game. But, Powell's been absolutely blanketed by the rookie. And here we go again. New Orleans can't take the opportunity to try and seal this game, leaving the door open for Vegas. Now can their offense actually do something?
So New Orleans will punt it away. Fair catch called for by Jackson at the 43-yard line. And how about Vegas weathering the storm? They got used and abused in the final 2 minutes of that second quarter, down 24-6. They didn't even have the ball to start the second half, and they have shut out the Pharaohs in the third quarter.
Yeah, it's been an impressive job, and the offense started to get going right at the beginning of this game, looking to Blades more and getting that touchdown. But since then, Cam, they've just kind of stalled, and you need the offense to step up at some point. Your defense can only hold back the flood so long. Ooh, clear interception.
Yeah, terrible ball. Just kind of wiffle balled it over the middle to Bertier, who whacked it away, and Bertier didn't have a teammate to dig that ball to, and brings up 2nd and 10.
yeah, Bertier not known for being the ball hawk kind of playmaker as far as interceptions are concerned. but came into this game with 6 pass defense. We saw one tip to a teammate for an interception. There he gets another.
2nd and 10 of the 43, 1:19 to go in the third quarter. 2 backs, 2 receivers for Rahman, going to throw. Rahman better hurry up. Rahman going to be sacked. And that may have been a coverage sack. Steven, you may have seen it better than I, but who is that making the play? That's Ray West with his first takedown of the night.
Yeah, Ray West, not necessarily a gimme. Look at him work. Just going after it. And you mentioned it, Cam. Rahman taking way too much time here in the pocket. I do believe it was the coverage sack because we've seen Rahman go to his outlet so many times tonight when he can't find anything to deep. Even the outlet was covered and just had nowhere to go. And maybe should have taken off and ran or thrown it away.
3rd and long again and again. Hood knocks it away. This time John Blades was the intended receiver. Hood now has 3 pass deflections, and in total tonight, we have seen 13 passes deflected by defenders, as Las Vegas, when they get into these 3rd and long situations, are just cranking it down the field with no success. And we may look back at this game and saying that New Orleans' pressure on the quarterback, not Logan Jack, is the reason why they ultimately ended up winning the ball game.
Yeah, Cam, an impressive secondary play on both sides. You know, it's been kind of a I can do anything, you can do better between Rollerman Hood and Thomas Rahman Jr. These two, you know, cornerbacks that are considered, you know, the second quarterback on the team, cornerback on each of their teams, respective teams, they've been playing lights out, pass defending like crazy tonight against, you know, a couple of the more impressive deep threats here in the SFL.
And Itera and Arrington have been holding it down as well. Matt Wolf with just 3 catches, 20 yards. John Blades 3 for 53, but did get loose for a touchdown. That pass caught by Jack. I didn't even see him there. And Jack doesn't get anything as Itera runs him down for his 9th tackle tonight.
Yeah, and Jack still breaks a tackle,
yeah.
Even though he's going sideways down the line of scrimmage. I don't think we can see him because I think there was a big defensive lineman blocking our vision there. But we're seeing these defenses really step up, and I think it's just a matter of time here what's going to determine this game, which offense is able to break through first.
Coming up on the end of the 3rd quarter, 24-13, Wolf going to throw. Wolf outside, caught by Powell. Wow, it's like seeing a unicorn. 2nd catch for Powell, and he's up to 9 yards, and that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter and a big 3rd down coming up for New Orleans. We've reached the end of the 3rd, and what a game we've got. Las Vegas 13, New Orleans 24. This is the MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week here on the SFL Network, on Twitch TV, all presented by APM Music. The 4s are going up in the chat. 3rd and 6 at the 23 for Gold. 2 backs, 3 receivers. Nickel look, handoff Jack. Logan Jack won't get there. And I don't mind the strategy, Steven, with the way Thomas Rahman Jr. has been playing. Hey, Jack can get 6 yards, but comes up short, and another defensive stand by the Fury.
Yeah, Cam, you know, coming into this game, you know, I think Xander Gold, and I still consider him one of the top young quarterbacks in this league, but the passing game tonight's been so inconsistent, and they ran the ball so well. It makes sense to look at Jack's number, but you know, at some point, especially if Vegas gets back into this game, you're going to need Xander Gold in this passing game to get you some probably 1st downs, maybe even a touchdown, get you in the scoring distance, something. They're going to need to get involved.
Jackson gets up to the 41-yard line, and so Vegas will end up with decent starting field position. You know, we talked earlier about how Vegas has the last ranked rushing defense, but in terms of pass defense, Vegas actually has not been too good either. They're 16th coming into the night, although as you mentioned earlier, Steven, as that pass is dropped over the middle, you can't do that down 11. You mentioned their difficult schedule through the first 4 games of the season. Cobretti was the intended target.
Yeah, able to come away with really impressive wins against Sioux Falls and Baltimore. Both home games for Vegas, though, had a bye week in week 3, had a home game against Tallahassee. Home game against Tallahassee, which they lost, and then they had to go into Alaska last week and came away with a loss. And that's tough to go in the eye and get a win anyway.
Rahman in a double coverage, and it hit Blades in the elbow. John Blades had a legit opportunity to make that catch. It was deflected. Aaron Arrington and one other in coverage, but another 3rd and long for the Fury. Their offense has become stale.
Yeah, and you know what? I think what the Pharaohs have done defensively, Cam, is they've trusted their linebackers to stop the run, which they've done here for the most part, but they've been really locking down these receivers.
So now Rahman's in the gun, 5 receivers. He needs to get rid of the ball pretty quickly, getting out of the pocket off his back foot. Oh, the pass was caught, but then Kappa Jones laid him out down the field. Rahman looking for a PI, but that was just an amazing play by this Pharaohs secondary.
Yeah, no PI, baby. That was all about the defensive pressure in the face of your receiver. Him not really, you expect those plays to be made. Hold on to the ball. That's easier said than done. You got Kappa Jones putting his helmet in your chest.
So 10-11 to go in the 4th, and both of these offenses have basically failed to figure out the respective defenses over the last, or since we broke from the locker room, as McRack's punt goes into the end zone for the 2nd consecutive time. So the Pharaohs will start with it on the 20. And Stephen, at some point, something has got to give. And if I was the Pharaohs, just keep giving it to Jack and keep playing defense. Just don't make the mistake here that could turn the game.
And I think probably the Pharaohs still feel like there's too much time on the clock. Will still probably pass maybe more than they should. But you're right, they should go through Jack.
Ooh, maybe not. Logan Jack gets whacked at the line of scrimmage. They don't rule that a TFL, but boy, it could have gone down as one. Jack down to 10.8 yards a carry, and Reinhardt makes that tackle.
And you know what? Maybe we're seeing Jack wear down a little bit here, Cam. Not to take anything away from that defensive effort, but he's had a lot of yards put on, a lot of mileage put on those tires tonight. Maybe feeling the effects of that.
And off to Jack, and Logan Jack runs out of room, and look at who's in the backfield. Rahman Jr. for a 3-yard loss. Gets some help from Johnson. 3rd and long for New Orleans. The defenses of both the Fury and the Pharaohs have been unbelievable.
Yeah, and I think, as you mentioned, Rahman able to really get past the wide receiver out there, Matt Wolf, trying to make the block, but just not doing a good enough job to give Jack enough of a block to get on the outside. And I think Jack, feeling that stamina being pretty low, didn't have the speed to break it to the outside enough.
4 wide for Gold. He needs a big conversion here. Gold gonna rocket it and threw it 15 yards way down the field. No, and I don't know if he just didn't think he was gonna get open or what, but Gold kind of got happy feet and just totally bailed on that play. He has been disrupted all night.
Yeah, and I think give credit to Fats Johnson there, Cam, and his defensive line, able to get enough pressure on Gold, make him uncomfortable in the pocket, make him have to throw on the run, and as we can see there, really affected his accuracy.
So New Orleans will punt from their 1-yard line. No block on, but this is going to be great field position for the Fury in a cat and mouse second half, as Max Jackson's going to start the drive to the Pharaoh 48. And we tell you that the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music is also brought to you in part by Movement Premium Watches, Sunglasses, and Accessories, by Quip Perfect Oral Care, delivered by ScoreStream, the official score updates app of the SFL, and by SpyGoat, the sound choice. And right now, Las Vegas has got to make a move. They're running out of time. 8:49 to go in the 4th. This may be their best opportunity. 4 wide, Rahman's pass. Blanket coverage. Funk was covered by Rolliman Hood, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It's a great strategy, I think, by the Pharaohs. You've got talented cornerbacks, and you know that Vegas has only 2 contracted wide receivers. So blanket those 2 wide receivers. Allow your awesome linebacker core and front 7 to take care of the run, And it's just kind of, it worked to perfection here, limiting Vegas so far to only 13 points.
8:45 left in the fourth. They've kind of gone away from Redford here a little bit recently. Rahman looks to Redford, needs to make a man miss, and he will not. McDaniel says, welcome to my house. A loss of one and another 3rd and long coming up for the Fury. They just have had a time with this Pharaohs defense, who only gave up 10 points to Vancouver last week.
And Cam, we've watched a lot of these New Orleans games, and I don't think we've seen one broken tackle on McDaniel. Just such a sure tackler.
Rahman on 3rd and long. Deep shot. Caught by Funk in traffic down to the 21-yard line. He was blanketed there as well, but Funk finally makes a big play for the offense.
Yeah, and finally a receiver makes a big play for his quarterback down the field here, just running that post route, able to just sneak the ball past the defender, but a good job by Funk with the concentration to bring that ball in. Big play. Now Vegas must capitalize here.
Nacho Sicario subscribing now 4 months in a row. Appreciate your support of the league. 1st and 10 at the 21. Out to Redford. Redford's got some space. Robert Redford, touchdown! What a run and a stiff arm on the sideline.
Woo, Cam, I know that Redford was on the sidelines looking at that Logan Jack play and wanted to get one of his own here. Look at him. We talked about McDaniel not missing a tackle,
Eat that.
And he just got stiff-armed by Redford, put to the ground. What a play.
Man, I don't think I've ever seen a player in the league make you look like more of a fool, Steven. That was unbelievable timing. Oh, I'm so sorry.
It happens. It's my life, Cam.
Oh, man. Tony Nomo.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Golly. Extra point is good for Vegas. Let's see who can make me look like a fool in the final 7 minutes and 41 seconds. Take your bets in the chat, and we'll see who the first person is that says you will make yourself look like a fool.
Hey, Cam, we didn't talk about it, but maybe should have Vegas gone for 2 there? An opportunity to make this a 1-score game, opt for the field goal, and now they've got to get a touchdown in order to win this one.
Yeah, that's true. 7:41 to go. They decide not to chase the points, especially when points have been valuable. Arrington, gets a shot from Itera at the 22-yard line. And how big of a difference has Itera made on special teams, shutting down Aaron Arrington? And by the way, Vegas now outscoring New Orleans 14-0 in the second half.
Well, Cam, I think at every SFL team and coach and owner, they have to weigh the investment of what it costs to put players on special teams with where maybe they could spend that elsewhere.
7:37 to go in the fourth. This is Gold. And Gold goes long. Oh, right through the hands of Matt Wolf, who was wide open. It may have gotten deflected, but I don't know, Steven. I can't believe he dropped that pass.
Well, Cam, this is an effect of Thomas Rahman Jr.'s coverage of Deezer Powell. Suddenly, they have to make the possession receiver, Matt Wolf, who's really that's more of his forte. They have to try to make him a deep threat, and we're seeing the consequences of that right now.
Avery Allen with 300 bits. He's now up to 3rd this week with 800 bits cheered. Thank you, Avery. 2nd and 10 at the 22. Shovel pass to Jack. We have not seen that all night, and it's a 1-yard loss as Johnson has been likely making Xander Gold think twice about that play, and maybe for good reason there.
Well, there's a reason why we don't see it around the league very much, Cam, or even from teams that use it. They use it sparingly. Why? Because if the defensive line is able to get penetration, that could easily be a fumble or a tipped ball or an interception.
Now they go 5 wide, and Gold goes long, and he's got an open receiver. It's caught by Powell. First down to the Fury 46, and Wyo can't believe he got behind the coverage.
Well, there's a reason Deezer Powell is #1 in yardage coming into this week, #1 in touchdowns by receivers this week. It's because he is a speedster. He is a vertical threat that this league hasn't seen in a long time. This guy has been destroying teams blanketed tonight, but you let one loose, and it could be one that kills you in this game if you're Vegas.
I tell you what, Steven, Rahman just got burned. He just simply got burned there.
It's tough to burn Rahman, ain't it?
Well, I don't know, actually.
I mean, can he burn anything that boils in water?
I don't know. I'm not a science guy. We all know that. As Wolf
You don't need to be a science guy, Gordon Ramsay.
Yes, you do. You need to know science. If something burns, if you boil it, how should I know without science? You gotta be kidding me here with the cooking questions.
We should all just stick to our own lanes here, I think, maybe.
Somewhere Jermaine's going, man. See, that's why he wouldn't make breakfast that one day. Handoff, or a shovel pass is knocked away by Andrew Scott, who could have had a pick, but has stone hands. 3rd and 6 at the 42.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure why they're doing this at this point, but that's 2 times it didn't work, and that one particularly dangerous. The ball's tipped away. You know, I've plenty of times seen that been picked off by a defensive lineman. It's always fun to watch the big fellas rumble down the field and try to get in the end zone off an interception like that.
5:59 to go in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers for goal on 3rd down and 6. Going to pass, going long. Powell again! Powell 10-5 touchdown! Beat Rahman, and the Pharaohs are on the board for the first time in the 2nd half.
Well, I don't know what happened with Deezer Powell, but suddenly he got his speed back, and look at the separation he's able to get from Rahman Jr. The rookie just misplays it. Look, young man, if you take your eyes off of Deezer Powell for a second, it can cost you like that. Two big plays from Deezer Powell here in this series, just before the 5-minute mark in the 4th quarter, could have sealed this win.
Stephen, we saw this in the Vancouver game where he just was shut down for as long as they possibly could, and then Powell just electrifies this crowd. He's at the 88 yards, 4 catches and a touchdown, and when people look at the box score, you know, later in the night, if they so happen to not be here, they'll say, oh, Powell did his thing, but it just doesn't tell the whole story.
And that's why, as an SFL player, you can't start to feel yourself too much. You can't feel like, yeah, Rahman, I think, is having a career, Rahman Jr., having a career game tonight, and great plays from both him and Hood and players on both sides here on the secondaries. But one mistake can cost your team dearly, and we just saw that here by Deezer Powell getting in the end zone.
Max Jackson on the return up to the 32-yard line. Shout out to Fetterman Sam. He said, I emailed the league. He is wanting to potentially join the commentary crew, and we would love to have you. Somebody give him a link to the Discord and the chat room, and we will see what's going to happen with your future as we continue to expand our broadcasting team. Of course, I started in the SFL, and I had never had a professional broadcasting gig either. And then it got me a job one day. That pass caught by Funk. First down at the 44-yard line. Halfway through the quarter, now Vegas is on the move again.
Yeah, and we're starting to see these passing games light up. You know, better late than never, right? I mean, this is just a great post route here by Funk, able to get that great separation, but part of that is the play call and able to spread out all those wide receivers, make them all go in different directions. Then it's just like a buffet for Rahman. Who do you want to go to? Probably want to go to the guys named Funk and Blades.
5:18 to go in the 4th, still time, but Vegas down 11 after Powell's explosion. Going to hand it off to Redford on a change of pace, and Robert Redford almost got through. Picks up 7 out to the 36-yard line. That's his 15th carry, check that. 15 carries, 95 yards. Thank you, Grayson Willis, on our live stats team for keeping track.
Grayson, thank you so much. And all the guys that take stats for us.
Absolutely.
It's a thankless job at times outside of us just calling them out, but they do an important job for us.
Rahman dumps it off, and that is not the play you want. 3rd and 4. That goes down for a loss. That was to the fullback, 4:36 and counting. And Rahman looking around for somebody to get open. There's a flag. Pass is caught. Blades breaks the tackle and will have to check the penalty.
Wow, Cam. Yeah, let's see what this call is. Is it coming back? This could be huge. This will be huge either way for the Fury.
MeUndies Laundry on the field. It's clipping on Vegas, and it's coming back.
Oh, goodness gracious. If you play for Mexico City, go ahead and turn the channel. You don't want to see this. You don't want to relive the bad memories, folks. Oh, my goodness. Clipping. Who is it on, Cam? Who?
Yeah,
I don't see clipping
well,
here.
they called it. They called it on.
Right.
Yeah, they called it on 64. I think that he got. I think that he got Daniels from the back. We didn't have a good angle on it at all,
and that takes the touchdown off the board.
Not only does it take the touchdown off the board, but it's a spot foul way back, 3rd and 22. Now at the 44-yard line for 15 yards out. And now Rahman is in a world of hurt. This could have been a 4-point game right now. He's going to go long. That pass is knocked away by Arrington. It's 4th down.
And I don't like the call, Cam, trying to get all 22 yards there on that play. I think you just try to cut it in half, try to get 11, make it a more manageable 4th down attempt, because you got to go 4 downs here. Oh, goodness gracious. I don't know, Cam. Maybe you don't with the special teams that you have, and you got to hope maybe your defense can hold. Maybe it's worth punting the ball here. You've got your 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
But goodness, under 5 minutes in the game, this is typically where they go for it on 4th.
Yeah, I mean, you have to at this point in the game, down 2 scores. Even though you wouldn't like to, you got to. 4th and 22 on the Vegas 44-yard line. Vegas has come so far in the second half. Rahman going to fire it down the middle of the field. It's caught. Did he get the first down? I'm not sure if they're ruling it one way or another here.
I didn't see an indication. I think they're calling them short. And they're highlighting the defensive player here. Our guys in the booth down there in the truck. So I'm thinking that maybe they got him short. Let's see here.
Well, I think you might be right. Yes, they ruled him short of the first down, right at the sticks, and no challenge. I don't know how you don't throw the challenge flag in that situation. Oh, man, what a throw by Rahman, right on target. Handoff to Jack, and Jack only got a yard, and now tick, tick, tick on Jack's 26th carry.
And we're going to be talking about that clipping call. I mean, that's going to be discussed in our Discords and then talked about when we refer back to this game. Opportunity to get a touchdown, put that on the board, maybe go for 2, make it within a field goal to tie the game. Instead, a clipping call makes it 3rd and 22. And you go 4th and 22, and you get 21 and a half.
Oh, man, 3:48 to go. Devastating for Vegas. They've got 7 up on the line at the moment. Running the clock down over to Jack Logan. Jack nearly got away. 3rd and 1. Tackle saving the first down made by Wyo, who's having words.
Well, I think we should start calling Logan Jack the Yak, right? Ride that yak. Absolutely want to do that all the way to the top. To the Everest, right?
That's
right
amazing.
To the Everest player of the game. He's going to be, we've seen Jack get on that yak all night tonight. Started to see him, maybe the stamina being questionable towards the end of this game. But look, if you're going to ride the yak with any guy, it's going to be Jack here. Try to go ahead and seal this one, get you a first down, get Las Vegas to use up all their timeouts and nail this one and go home and celebrate.
Jack the Yak. You should be on TV. That is amazing. 3rd and 1 at the 43. They're running the play clock all the way down. Jack will get the carry again, and Jack did get the first down with forward progress to the 45. They'll need one more play before the 2-minute warning. Then Vegas will have to start using some timeouts, and things are not looking good for the Fury, who had a touchdown wiped off the board. It'd be a 4-point game right now.
And this plays right into New Orleans' hands. They can run the ball again, even if they don't get any yardage. They get more time off the clock. Hits the 2-minute warning. Run Jack a couple more times. Use up some of those timeouts. I think this pretty much seals this one up for them.
Yeah, they've just gone heavy here and just rumbling the Jack. 28 carries, 267 yards tonight is the updated numbers. Handoff to Jack, gets 3 more. Now up to 270 on 29 carries as he does a ball flip in the direction of Rahman Jr. And if this was baseball, there'd be a lot of people all being babies right now. As that's a 3-yard pickup, and that's the 2-minute warning. 31-20, New Orleans on top of Vegas. What a night to open up the MeUndies You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week here in week number 6. Oh, man. Vegas needs a stop. They need it now. 2nd and 7. Jack takes the handoff. Jack picks up 4. And Steven, it feels impossible right now to not allow Jack to run for 3 yards.
Well, he certainly doesn't have the pop that we saw there at the end of the first half, but has enough left in the tank to probably take care of the Pharaohs here. Even if they stop him here on 3rd down, they still have to use a timeout to stop the clock, and that gives you 1 timeout left, probably deep in your own territory, and 2 scores to make up.
3rd and 3. They got to get this stop here. Hand off Jack and Logan. Jack got the. Oh no! They marked him short. Oh man! No way! Is that karma, or are they going to rip it away from him on a booth review?
Well, it might be more than karma. It might be a makeup call, Cam.
That's right.
Although I don't know if it's going to help Vegas much at this point, it is enough to get them the ball back.
Go for it. Why not just go for it? Especially with Itera out there, right?
I agree with you. I certainly agree with you. They can put this game away by doing it.
Well, no block there, and this punt going to bounce inside the 10 if they can get a good bounce here, but it's going to roll into the end zone at the 20. So 1 timeout left. The game's still alive off of what I believe, Steven, ultimately is just a makeup call. I think they just figured, eye for an eye there, and the Fury have got 1 more shot at it.
Well, they might owe Vegas more than just 1. Thinking about that clipping call, they might owe them a couple calls. But, yeah, I don't know. This is something we're going to have to see out of this Vegas offense. We're going to need to see some big-time passing plays here.
Trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss, and with the bye, they will have not won a game in a month as Redford gets out of bounds for a 4-yard gain. Bertier on the tackle.
Yeah, and taking a look at their schedule, they've got the Fury have got to go up and face Vancouver. Excuse me, they're going to go back home and face Vancouver. They've got to go into Atlanta. They've got to go into Carolina. They've got a big game in their home against Indy, London, Sioux Falls, Tulsa. It's a tough road ahead of them. A lot of away games.
A lot of teams that are looking much improved over the last week or two. Indy, Atlanta, Carolina among those, as John Blades now has 4 catches, 56 yards. It's 3rd down and 3. Las Vegas taking the slow and steady approach. And hey, whatever you got to do to get 2 scores, but you got to get the first one. Rahman is 20 of 36 tonight, 203 yards.
Got to hope that those short passes are trying to lead up to something long, but at this point, I think, as you mentioned, you should just go for it. This is 4-down territory.
4 receivers for Rahman. Empty set, 4-man rush. Rahman quick back, caught at the 40 by Blades. No huddle offense with 1.5 minutes to go. They avoid having to go for it on 4th down deep in their own territory. Same formation. 3-2 look for New Orleans defense. Rahman back to pass. Rahman going long. Rahman's pass is way over the head of Funk, and that's actually a nice ball placement there because that could have been picked.
Yeah, that was a throwaway. Basically, at least you hope it was, because there was 3 defenders in the area blanketing all around the receiver. No chance he was probably coming away with that. So live to throw another day here, maybe stop the clock, which is good without using a timeout.
2nd and 10 at the 40-yard line. 1:19 to go. 4 receivers, 2 to either side for Rahman. Back to pass. Rahman in trouble. Throws. Caught for a 1st down to the 49-yard line. McDaniel lays out Templar, but he makes the play. 1:06 to go. Vegas now in New Orleans territory. Rahman to pass again. Rahman steps up in the pocket, fires one-on-one coverage, and Arrington almost had the interception.
Yeah, dangerous pass there, although Rahman did a really good job of just gently moving in the pocket, taking a side step to avoid the rush, but you kind of feel like maybe that affected his confidence in that throw. Didn't get it as far out as he probably needed to. Made it a 50-50 ball where the receiver didn't come back in and wasn't aggressive to try and catch that.
232 yards for Rahman, 4 receivers, 3 to the right side as Vegas trying to desperately make a comeback here as Rahman will fire in, pass caught at the 36-yard line by Blades. Still alive, but the clock's moving down to 50 seconds to go. And at what point do you just decide to kick a field goal to make it a 1-score game? Rahman, quick drop back. Redford's wide open, got to get out of bounds. And Redford will at the 25-yard line with 40 seconds to go. And we have to mention our presenting sponsor tonight, MeUndies. are the world's most comfortable underwear. Visit MeUndies.com/SimulationFL for 15% off your purchase, which will help support the SFL through our partnership. Give the gift of comfort with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, free shipping and returns, signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. And now with the ball out of bounds, it's 1st and 10 at the 25 with 40 seconds to go, as the Fury have not quit on this game after being down 24-6 at the half. Rahman throws and out of bounds with 37 seconds to go. Nothing open.
Yeah, and it gives you an opportunity there. Not pushing it, not trying to cause a turnover here, because that would absolutely end the game for you. But it gets it out of bounds. It stops the clock. It's a relatively safe play there to the outside. And let's not forget, Cam, in this area before, they threw a little swing pass, excuse me, to Redford, and that got him in the end zone. Here, Redford not even on the field here.
2nd down and 10, 35 seconds, and Hood nearly got an interception there. Funk the target for the 10th time tonight, 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, maybe, we've talked about Rahman holding the ball too long. There, I think he threw it just a little bit too quickly. If he would have just given his receiver a little bit more time to get separation, maybe that corner route in the end zone puts 6 on the board for him.
33 seconds left, time not on Vegas' side, and they could kick a field goal to make it a 2-score game and try to get an onside kick. 5 wide for Rahman. Rahman dumps it short. That's not the play you want, because now it's 4th and 4, and Vegas will have to burn their final timeout to bring the field goal unit on. And I got to be honest with you, Stephen, there for a moment, I thought they were out of timeouts and was thinking that was going to ruin their opportunity at a field goal, but they'll get one here.
Yeah, they'll get one here. This is, Rage has been perfect on the season, hasn't missed a single field goal attempt. So you count this as 3. Hope that your star kicker can get you an onside kick.
35-yard field goal. Don't forget, Atera, a part of that onside kick recovery team. That field goal is good, and it's 31-23. And Merrick Itera, not necessarily known for recovering onside kicks or anything like that, but you wouldn't want anybody else out there on that coverage.
Well, I think more of the onus is going to be on the kicker here, Rage. If he can deliver a nice ball and maybe a ball with some English on it, Cam, maybe he can make one of the other opposing special teamers miss a catch, and then Itera can get on top of it.
This is the ball game, and it's recovered. Atera makes the tackle, but it bounces right to Maurice Howard. That was not a good bounce from Rage. And New Orleans is going to hold on and win this game, Stephen. They're going to improve to 4-2, and I think the Pharaohs have answered a big question tonight about if they are for real or not. They just continue to surprise.
And Cam, it's the how many games have we played now? Every game that's been played has been won at home except for one so far this week. So the home team continues to roll here. But by no means was it easy. This was a tight game going to the end of that first half until we saw that Jack Yak explosion.
Baltimore is at home. St. Louis is at home. And I think San Francisco is at home this week. We'll see how Monday shakes out. But Sunday night has wrapped up with a 31-23 Pharaohs victory over the Fury. New Orleans goes to 4-2. Winners now of, I believe, 3 straight games. Vegas has lost 3 straight going in the wrong direction, but they have had some very tough games and heartbreaking results. As there you look at the final numbers, Logan Jack slowed down in the second half. It was hard to keep that pace, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, but I imagine he might be our extraordinary Everest player of the game.
Yeah, most likely he will be, but make no mistake, it wasn't just Logan Jack in this game. Particularly these defenses were really great tonight, and especially really limiting some of the bigger stars here in the SFL through the air. And we think about what Thomas Rahman was able to do against Deezer Powell, a vertical threat who didn't come alive to that final quarter. Romlin Hood, how he was able to extend on so many plays and knock the ball away at the last second. And the interceptions that were able to come away with Rahman Jr. And then we still had great plays, through the air that were few and far between. but certainly made this a enjoyable contest to watch. I think at the end of the day, though, we're going to be talking about Logan Jack and what he was able to do there at the end of the first half that really blew out this game and I think really sealed this game really early on, and then from then on it was Vegas just trying to play catch up.
What a day of SFL action. Oklahoma City wins by 3, New Orleans wins by 8. Carolina was a one-score game all the way up until their field goal sealed the deal. Tulsa, Atlanta was a one-score game. Just a lot of incredible results. The extraordinary Everest player of the game is Logan Jack. 31 carries, 277 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 11 receiving yards, which was a quiet night for him in the passing game. Visit extraordinaryeverest.com for more information on how you can make your mark on Mount Everest. Well, Stephen, final thoughts from New Orleans. What a night.
Well, I think my final thought is about the fans. The fans are never wrong. They gave us a great game tonight, the first one of the season where fan voting determined the game that we highlighted here this week. And I just encourage you guys that are new or that didn't vote, get in there and vote, because you guys really have great insight about what games are going to be exciting for us to feature here on Twitch.
Week 7 is right around the corner, but don't forget about 3 games tomorrow on YouTube, starting at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. For Grayson Willis, who did a phenomenal job on stats, and Stephen Mullinex, my analyst, I am Cameron Irvine saying good night from New Orleans.
Yakety yak.